had J.P. Morgan Chase. I had hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, and they told me, "I'm sorry, sir, we can't have you. You have 20 days to get out." I said, "You got to be kidding. I've been with you for 35, 40 years." I was informed by my people that we have to get out of Chase. I call up Bank of America routinely, and I speak to him, and I speak to a couple of people, and they have zero interest. Brian, and he said, "We can't do it. No, we can't do it."
It's really quite something. I'm glad we ran that again. Anyway, joining us now here on set, Chair of the Senate Banking Committee, Mr. Tim Scott of South Carolina, the author of a new book, One Nation, Always Under God. That's available now. Terrific stuff. It's wonderful to see you, Senator.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Just listening, I mean, you got 20 days to get out.
Unbelievable.
And this was about politics, without any question.
100%. Listen, this is like the modern day redlining. You remember the redlining, black and white back in the day? Mm-hmm. Now, redlining is red and blue. Think about the first iteration that we saw. It was the gun manufacturers said that we won't bank you anymore. Oil and gas, we won't bank you. And then they moved to the Trumps. Melania Trump herself debanked. Then they went to cryptocurrency, digital assets. What do all these things have in common? A center-right philosophy, or these are they found themselves in disfavor with the left. These elitists who believe they should decide who gets access to our financial institutions. That's one of the reasons why I've already passed legislation against debanking at the Senate Banking Committee earlier this year. I know it's time to lead. I wanted to lead on this incredibly important topic.
Senator, what's in there? Just briefly, because you got Mr. Trump's going to come out with an executive order.
Yes.
But a law is stronger than an executive order. A law survives a change of administration.
Exactly. What we do is we eliminate reputational risk is what they're using. The OCC, FDIC.
Right. I had that in my riff. Yes, that's one of their weapons.
So important. And it is such a big weapon they use on steroids against conservatives. What I want to do is eliminate that. Good news is I've had a lot of cooperation from the banking regulators, the OCC and the FDIC under President Trump's leadership. I've been able to move them in the right direction. So I'm very thankful for the new relationship that the American people will have with the bank regulators. Massive issue.
I assume Michelle Bowman is really a big help in there because she has great values.
Great woman.
We all wanted her in there. You know who didn't want her in there? It was Jay Powell.
Yeah.
He did not want her in here.
Well, she's very different from Michael Barr in a good way.
That's correct.
She wants to redo Basel III.
All right. Head of the Banking Committee has to deal with monetary policy and the Federal Reserve. Here is interesting. Art Laffer last night had this to say about the Fed. Take a listen, please.
Larry, as you know, I really don't think the Fed should be independent. The Fed is part of the administration, and it should be run by the administration. And an independent Fed just causes all sorts of problems. The president's going to be blamed for a bad economy and going to be credited for a good economy. He should have all the levers possible under his control that contribute to that economy.
Just a thought on that. It's a very interesting point of view. A good friend of mine, I won't name him, he had texted me and he said, well, what happens when Democrats come in? But Democrats appoint Fed chairman, Republicans appoint Fed chairman. How independent should the Fed be?
Well, the president has resisted the notion that he would fire Jay Powell, even though Jay Powell has done some challenging things. What the president really wants, and I want the exact same thing, we want a Fed that focuses on three things: stable prices, full employment, and inflation. Why? Because inflation is how we determine the interest rates. Inflation today is at 2.7%. Our interest rates should be coming down, but they're not. Unlike EU and most parts of the world, it's been stubborn. Why? Chairman Powell, please do the right thing for first-time home buyers. Today, age 38. Way too old to be a first-time home buyer. We can get that number coming down, age coming down, by simply reducing the interest rates.
Put some torque into the economy. Be not afraid.
Oh, my goodness.
I think he's personalized it with Trump myself. We're going to get into that later in the show with Victor Davis Hanson. But I mean, it's long overdue. I think you're right. Your book, One Nation Under God, you've always been a person of faith, and you carry it with you.
Thank you very much. You can get the book today at Amazon.com. Anywhere books are sold.
Good. I love to sell books anyway. Maybe you'll come on the radio show.
Let's do it.
Radio show.
I look forward to it.
Sell you books there. I'm shameless. Thank you.